What's up, you all? We got to jump right into it. We got to jump right into it. We don't have time to waste. We got to jump right into it. Okay, let's go. Let's just jump right into it. Um, let me let me get started. Let me get started. Here we go.
Now, I done seen this in Whole Food for probably about 8 months now, and we're gonna keep acting like we don't see it until it comes. Pay with your palm, get started. And right now, they just putting it in y'all faces to get y'all prepared. When they start putting chips in y'all and marking y'all up, and then the only way we'll be able to pay is through putting chips in our bodies and paying and scanning and okay. Y'all be trying to act like y'all don't see stuff. They put it right in our face, and then when it happens, y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Alright. Act like y'all ain't paying attention.
I'm gonna play this again. What's up, you all? What's up, Jakari? Congratulations on the move, Zaza. What's up, King Tabernacle? What's up, Goddess Navi? What's up, Mika? What's up, Nikki? What's up, Paul? What's up, y'all? I don't know if you all been to Whole Foods. If you go to Whole Foods at the checkout, they have the palm scan already ready to go. And so I saw this video before, but then I saw it on, I want to say, Casually Conservative's page, and he said that oftentimes he hears Black people saying that this isn't our fight. And when you hear Black people saying that, what they're really saying is that we're going to submit to the Antichrist. Anytime you hear Black people saying it's not our fight, what they're saying is we're going to submit. And so I'm going to play this again, but this is the palm scan at Whole Foods. Now, again, we've talked about mark of the beast stuff, and we talked about when they were checking your temperature, they were scanning you with the thermometer gun at your forehead. Now they got you scanning your hands to get stuff. So we know where this stuff is headed. The chip implants are next. Again, everything you're seeing now going on around the world is a distraction, because the ultimate goal is for you to give up your soul to Satan. That's the ultimate goal. So no matter what you see, the end of the story ends with you giving your soul up. The Bible says that there's a way unto man which seemeth right, but in the end are the ways of death. So all of these things that you see going on, if the solution is not Christ, then it's going to lead to Satan and ultimately death. There's no in between. It's either going to lead to Christ or it leads to damnation. That's it. So whatever you're consuming or looking at, if the people aren't talking about a solution resting in God's word, then they're talking about a solution resting in the world, i.e. man, i.e. Satan, i.e. death, destruction, and damnation.
Now, I done seen this in Whole Food for probably about 8 months now, and we're gonna keep acting like we don't see it until it comes. Pay with your palm, get started. And right now, they just putting it in y'all faces to get y'all prepared. When they start putting chips in y'all and marking y'all up, and then the only way we'll be able to pay is through putting chips in our bodies and paying and scanning and okay. Y'all be trying to act like y'all don't see stuff. They put it right in our face, and then when it happens, y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Alright. Act like y'all ain't paying attention.
So yeah, what she's basically talking about is, we get into this mark of the beast territory, and many people feel like they're going to be immune and exempt from this. You're not. But the Bible does say that God always gives us a way of escape. And so whatever we're presented with, we trust God to give us a way of escape. But you have to believe that God is giving you a way of escape. If you don't believe that, then you're going to succumb to the will of Satan. A lot of people did when it came to these snake bites. But again, if you all been to Whole Foods, this is what I've been seeing. Even the Whole Foods is so cold. They got the palm scan and they got the cameras scanning your face. When I go there, I try to block my face out like this. I don't want y'all looking at me, but they tracking everything. And so just imagine there's a social credit score. You're going to see the real intent of people. If your social credit score is going to be hindered by you telling the truth, then folks are just going to lie. You're gonna see many people that you thought were righteous. You're gonna see many people fall and fold behind this stuff. But let's continue. Let's continue. Chuck sent me this video. I wanted to send this, but before I go to Asia, let me go to Africa real quick and let's see what they're doing in Africa. Let's see what they're building in Africa. So we go to Africa. I like to drop in Africa every now and then. They over eating roasted monkey. They tearing him up too. No spices, no nothing. Just monkey, no seasoning. They tearing that monkey up. Like they tearing this monkey up. But I just want to just hop in on African every now and then just to see if they're building, another ancient Kemet or Kush, another pyramid. I just drop in every now and then to see what they're doing. Today we just find them sharing roasted monkey. Just no seasoning, just roasted monkey. Rena Bina said, don't go to Whole Foods. They are using bioengineered products, GMO. I'm glad you said that because I've been thinking about not going back to Whole Foods. I go there to eat sometimes, but the last time I went, it didn't sit right with me. When I looked at that, I don't know, that palm scan and camera thing, I just I didn't need to come here anymore. But yeah, so we just stopped in Africa real quick. That's all. See how people are doing. Say, hello to our cousins, the ones that started it all. And, they're just having a good time eating monkey. But anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Hold on. We went to Africa. Let's stop by Atlanta real quick. Let's see what's going on in Atlanta. They got a lemur out here twerking. This is Atlanta. But y'all can't see this on Instagram, but this is I think it's Edgewood in Atlanta or Edgewood area. And it's just a a lot of stuff going on. They got people on horseback. They got lemurs. They got twerking. They got car just twerking. Just a smorgasbord of decadence. Loud, ratchet music, spreading degradation. So yeah, just a POV, just walking down the streets in Atlanta at 2 a.m. You just see pure and utter decadence. Just, you know, when the kings and queens get together, again, they're not building ancient Kemet or Kush. They're not building pyramids. They're not building there's no inventions being made. It's just when they get together, this is what you get. Sexy red in the background. And you got Jim twerking in the middle of the street, lemurs twerking, people on horseback. We're going to play it again. Let's play one more time. Just twerking with Sexy Red. See the theme song for the event. Just twerking. Had the pole lemur on the ground, animal cruelty. I'm gonna call Peter. Had the lemur on the ground twerking. Yeah, just twerking. Decadence, drinking, smoking. It's the kings and queens having a nice night out. You know, what they call positive vibes. You know, just twerking, smoking, drinking, horseback riding. Whatever tickles your fancy. Yeah, just a typical. So, you know, I said, let's be fair. You know, if I'm gonna go to Africa, I'm gonna go to Atlanta too. You know, I'm gonna go to. If I go to Africa, I'm gonna go to Atlanta. I'm only gonna be fair. I told you it was animal cruelty, but let's continue. Yeah, Chuck sent me this picture of this guy. I don't know if y'all seen the Chinese guy that went to court. He painted his face black. Well, use a black marker to, you know, make his face black. And he said, let's just play it real quick. Let's just play it.
Me like a black man, so today I'm going to be a black man.
That's convicted road rage attacker Mark Char. He colored his face with a marker for his sentencing hearing today. The judge was not amused.
Char was convicted of attempted murder and assault for stabbing and slashing 3 people on the H1 freeway 3 years ago.
Today, he took a new approach to gain sympathy and attention. It failed. Char colored his face with a black pen, saying he was being treated like a black man in court. Char was driving home to Eva Beach in 2016 when he started road raging other drivers, stabbing and slashing them. He was convicted of attempted murder and 2 counts of assault.
This was a case that you incited, that you provoked, that you almost killed an innocent motorist.
No, it didn't happen that way.
You cut off. The evidence showed, Mr.
There was no evidence on my part. My lawyer failed to put in.
So I want you to pay attention because, again, many black people struggle with context and nuance. So the man okay, let's play it again so you can listen to it.
Treating me like a black man, so today I'm going to be a black man.
That's convicted road rage attacker Mark Char. He colored his face with a marker for his sentencing hearing today. The judge was not amused.
Char was convicted of attempted murder and assault for stabbing and slashing 3 people on the H1 freeway 3 years ago.
Today, he took a new approach to gain sympathy and attention. It failed. Char.
So the reason why he marked his skin black was to gain sympathy from the courts. This is how you know there's such thing as black privilege, because if being black was really a thing that was going to hinder him, he would have never done it because he's facing life in prison. But because he wanted a lesser sentence, he painted himself as a black person to get sympathy from the judge. We talk about black privilege, but then when I bring it up, remember the Indian guy that was in India and he wanted to come to medical school in America, So he said he was black and he got into medical school. Remember that guy? You see, we talk about white privilege, but we never talk about black privilege because black privilege will nullify white privilege, especially with there being an anti-white agenda. But this Asian guy was going to court to get sympathy by being a black person. And he thought if he did this, this was going to make the judge and the courts see something different. Maybe we're being too harsh. Maybe this is wrong. But let's continue.
Colored his face with a black pen, saying he was being treated like a black man in court. Char was driving home to Eva Beach in 2016 when he started road raging other drivers, stabbing and slashing them. He was convicted of attempted murder and 2 counts of assault.
This was a case that you incited, that you provoked, that you almost killed an innocent motorist.
No, it didn't happen that way.
You cut off. The evidence showed, Mr.
There was no
Char.
evidence on my part.
Mr.
My lawyer
Char.
failed to put in.
So let's play one more video of this guy. And you all know that black folks ate this up, right? You know that black people ate this up. Just no clue of what he's even doing. Just ate it up.
Now this kangaroo court is giving me a life sentence for me trying to protect and defend myself against the attack from 3 guys. In essence, treating me like a black man.
You almost killed an innocent.
This is communist rhetoric. And it's communist rhetoric to assume that because a black person is going to jail or prison, that they are innocent. So the premise is that the system is flawed. If the system is flawed, then the system doesn't have the right to hold anyone accountable. This is obviously Satan. And so this is what these people operate off of, is that they give you the assumption that if a black person is being held accountable, that somehow they're being treated wrong. We already know that when black folks aren't held accountable, you know, monkeys get cooked and women are twerking in the streets, listening to Sexy Red. And lemurs are twerking. So we know when black folks aren't held accountable, we know pyramids don't get built. When black folks aren't held accountable, we know ancient Kush doesn't exist. When black folks aren't held accountable, we don't see ancient Kemet. So when black folks aren't held accountable, we don't see the third eye opened up. We don't see it. So the whole premise behind the judicial system being corrupt is that black people are oppressed and victims. And if the judicial system is holding them accountable, then the system must be wrong. And so this little Asian guy then tried to kill 3 people having road rage, and he's the one who started everything. He's the one that cut the people off. This Asian guy tried to kill these people with a knife. He pepper sprayed them and then started stabbing them. He pepper sprayed them, and then he get to cutting, slicing, and dicing. He took the term Shogun Master to a whole new different meaning. Let's continue.
Now this kangaroo court is giving me a life sentence for me trying to protect and defend myself against the attack from 3 guys. In essence, treating me like a black man.
You almost killed an innocent motorist.
No, it didn't happen that way.
You cut off. The evidence showed, Mr.
There was no
Char.
evidence on my part. My
Mr.
lawyer
Char.
failed.
Treating me like a black man, so today I'm going to be a black man. Now this kangaroo court is giving me a life sentence for me trying to protect and defend myself against the attack from 3 guys. In essence, treating me like a black man.
You almost killed an innocent motorist.
No, it didn't happen that way.
You cut off. The evidence showed, Mr.
There was no
Char.
evidence on my part. My
Mr.
lawyer
Char.
failed.
Treating me like a black man, so today I'm going to be a black man.
And I'm so glad the judge threw the book at him. If I was a judge, I would have ordered a pint of shrimp fried rice and threw it at him. That's me. But basically, he went in there trying to get sympathy from the court by being black or looking black, and it failed. But my whole point of this video was to show that he was trying to use black privilege. The city that it was in was Honolulu. It was in Honolulu, Hawaii. The judge is talking and he talking over the judge. So I'm glad the judge threw the book at him. Throw the book at him, judge, with extra Szechuan sauce.
You're a horrible person. You're literally doing blackface.
Yeah.
Thank me later. In the middle of the store.
Lester Holt did whiteface. Nobody said. Where's your pride section? I need to know.
We're past.
Oh, I thought they were celebrating this and they took our flag forever. No? I was wrong. My bad. I don't shop at Target. I just take pictures. Join me. Post it on my Facebook, please. My Facebook friends love it.
Now people are going to call her racist. And again, context is lacking. She's being sarcastic. And she's saying, if people can do whiteface, then I can do blackface. Now, Lester Holt, it is a fact that Lester Holt did actually do whiteface. He portrayed himself as a white woman. And I'm going to show you right now what Lester Holt did to let you know what context she's using, because it is context. But Lester Holt did do whiteface. Well, he did white body. If it's on this page, I hope it's on this page. I just saw it, but here we go. Here we go. So you all should be able to see it. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me get the right screen so I can make it bigger. Hold on. Yeah, so Lester Holt, he did whiteface. And, we can call this white body, but this is, he did it. I mean, this is what he portrayed a white woman, and nobody got offended. So what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. Today's title is Black Ain't Beautiful, but Love Is. And what they're telling you all to do is they're telling you all to not love people and judge them based on their appearance. It's funny that you all love MLK, but MLK literally said he wanted little white boys and little white girls be playing with each other, and little black boys and little white girls and black boys playing, and white girls and black boys playing, and white girls and black boys, black girls and white boys playing together. But that's what he said he wanted, and black folks cheered and celebrate him to this day. It's funny how times change. But anyway, the white lady, basically went to Target and she had on blackface, and she was obviously
You're literally
trolling.
doing blackface.
Yeah.
Thank me later. In the middle of the store.
Lester Holt did whiteface. Nobody said. Where's your pride section? I need to know.
We're past.
Oh, I thought they were celebrating this and they took our flag forever. No? I was wrong. My bad. I don't shop at Target. I just take pictures. Join me. Post it on my Facebook, please. My Facebook friends love it.
Now, again, no one can see that she's actually trolling. She's probably trolling all of it, the whole woke madness. You know what? It probably is self-tan. Diamone, it probably really is self-tan. She's just being, it probably really is self-tan. People just being silly, They want to be offended by something. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Oh, they shooting, oh. Oh, they shooting. Oh, they shooting, my boy. Oh, yeah, let go, let go. Oh, they done dropped the weapon, man. Everybody come on. Let go. Let go. Hey, they shooting out that motherfucker. What did I drop everything, boy? I ain't even scared of.
So they in the mall shooting, and we know who's in the mall shooting. We know who's shooting in the mall. This is in Augusta, Georgia, and he decides to narrate what's going on. But as people are fleeing the mall for their lives, he's thinking it's funny. Now, what I find funny is you have other races of people that believe this is crazy. What do you all think other races think when y'all are shooting up the mall? Like inside the mall, you're shooting. What do you think other races think? And you don't get on TV and say, this wrong. We got to clean it up. We got to do something. You don't do that. So all these other races, in their minds, they're like, black folks condone this stuff because black folks don't reject this stuff. They support the music. Just imagine somebody coming to America, let's say a foreigner, immigrant. They come to America and they're just observing black people. They go to the mall one day and they shooting it up. Nobody gets on TV and says it's wrong. Then you got a girl making a song about venereal diseases and everybody dancing to it. Then you got another group of black folks blaming white people. Other group of black folks blaming the immigrants. Other big group of black folks blaming the police. Like, what do y'all think a foreigner coming from the outside looking in, what are they observing about black people and black culture?
They shooting, oh. Oh, they shooting. Oh, they shooting, my boy. Oh, yeah, let go, let go. Oh, they done dropped the weapon, man. Everybody come on. Let go. Let go. Hey, they shooting out that motherfucker.
All the other races of people are running for their lives, getting their children. And think about this now. And if a white person got on TV and said it was a bunch of black men in the mall shooting, you call them racist. So and this is what I'm talking about. They've already conditioned most black people to literally sin against God just as long as it goes against white people.
What did I drop everything, boy? I ain't even scared of.
Now he said he ain't scared. What does that even mean? He said he ain't scared. Again, another false image. And if they start shooting at him, believe he be running and ducking. Believe you me, he would be running and ducking. Let's go to
on Indian.
Let me wait on that one. This is the last day of the month. We're gonna have fun. Dear Black women, stop doing this kind of stuff. These women are in here with their legs gapped open, and they say they're birthing a new earth. All y'all doing is releasing a yeast infection demon. All these women with their wombs opened up, and she chanting. You don't know what she chanting, but I guarantee there will be some kind of vaginal demon to emerge from all of y'all doing this. But this is foolishness, though. And I tell the men all the time, you got to be very careful of these Black women now, because you got to ask them what they believe. Ask them what do they practice out of your eyesight. A lot of these Black women are doing this stuff. They trying to bring in a new earth through the womb. You see, play it again. She got the afro up under her arms. I see tarot cards down there. I see some kind of fruit, look like some fruits in a bowl. Again, Black women, stop doing this stuff. This is, you don't know, y'all gonna open up a whole portal right here. Stop doing this. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. Y'all do all this stuff and then still go out there and pick the wrong man. You do all this bringing in a new earth through your womb. You do all this, all that breathing and stuff, all that chanting, and then still go out there and got a baby daddy. If all this nonsense don't make you make better decisions in life, then it's of Satan. And it would be different if y'all did this stuff and y'all got smarter and wiser, but that's hardly the case. Y'all make even worse decisions. Y'all have a baby with a dude when he got 10 baby mamas. But he calls you Mother Earth, so he's righteous. He locks his hair, so he's righteous. He's vegan, so he's righteous. This is foolishness. No, this ain't in Africa. This is in America. You know this ain't no Africa. And this is in Africa, the floor would be dirt. You know this ain't Africa. Stop playing. Y'all know this ain't Africa. Again, stop. You don't know what you're doing. Y'all coming up with these crazy ideas, and just stop. Please stop. Please stop. But let's continue. Let's continue. You say a queef demon? That's funny. So right here is a video of this guy is driving a bus. This is the bus driver. And this young man, he's a grown man, but young man, is attacking the bus driver while he's driving the bus. And I want to talk about this spirit that's among Black people of destroy it all, no matter the collateral damage. And so this guy is driving a bus. There are passengers on the bus. There are people on the street. And this guy is filled with so much rage that he's going to risk everybody's life because he wants to fight the bus driver. They are on the street driving. And this guy decides to fight the bus driver as the bus is driving. He could care less about the people on the streets, children walking by. It don't even matter. People on the bus. This man is fighting the bus driver. The bus driver, and look at him, about to veer over hitting buildings, everything. People could have died, but he don't care. His goal was to fight the bus driver. It's not a white person in sight. And could you imagine if a white person attacked a black bus driver and risked everybody's life? What they would be saying? Deep down inside, we know this stuff is cap. And we know it's cap because of the double standard. We know that if white people do what black people do, everybody's outraged. It would cause a war. Do you all realize the only reason that this thing has not just completely toppled over is because white people are nice. Collectively, white people are nice. If white people acted like black people, this whole thing would have been destroyed. It'd be World War III. If white people did what black people do, shut down freeways, and although the climate change folks do it, but I put them in the same boat. But if white people went around tearing up buildings and vandalizing black property, just imagine if white people destroyed 48% of black businesses in the summer of love 2020. Just imagine. And there were some white liberals there, but I put them in the same group with the bliggity blacks. But this young man is fighting the bus driver as the bus is driving. He doesn't even have enough care for innocent people. This bus is hitting car. Look at this. On the sidewalk, the bus is on the sidewalk. It could be children. Total disregard. And at the end of all this, they're going to say, but white people. Now, they want you to believe that the judicial system is going to judge this young man unfairly. Let's continue.
Snow bunnies have on our women is snow bunnies on a dusty brother and see his skill, his talent, you feel me? Yeah. Invest in him in college. And by the time he become a multimillionaire at 35, she did with him the whole walk. You see that? A lot of sisters are not going to do that. They're not going to find a dusty brother in his senior year or dusty brother in the community. But you see, he got this business idea. She like, nah, come back and see me when it's up and running. I don't think this ever going to happen. Snow Bunny invested in him. You feel me? 10 years later, the same brother see you trying to holler. He got the white girl. And it came to you. You said you want a ready-made black man. You don't want a work in progress. And I'm telling black women, y'all better start going for some of these works in progress instead of waiting for us to finish the job because you losing to the Snow Bunny when you tell us to wait until we got the bag.
You guys see how he's stuttering right there? You see how he's stuttering? Kind of a little bit, just kind of jittery. That's coffee. I'm just a barista serving coffee here, guys. No need to be mad at me. Be mad at Dr. Umar, who said it.
So you heard Dr. Umar. Now listen to what he says. He's telling black men to not get with white women, but then he's also telling you that white women are honorable. He literally said white women can look at a guy that has not reached his potential and she's willing to invest in him. Black women look at the same guy and says, no, holla at me when you make it. Now, this is the mighty king, Umar Johnson, a.k.a. Jermaine Shoemake. Somebody called him the gorilla from North Philly. But I'm gonna play it again. But Umar Johnson literally said that white women have honorable traits. The same thing that Tariq Nasheed said. Tariq Nasheed said that white women come from good households. Now, these men will tell you that white folks are racist, but somehow when they get to running their mouth and explaining, it doesn't seem like white folks are that bad. Let's play it again, though.
Advantages the snow bunnies have on our women is snow bunnies on a dusty brother and see his skill, his talent, you feel me? Yeah. Invest in him in college. And by the time he become a multimillionaire at 35, she's been with him the whole walk. You see that? A lot of sisters are not going to do that. They're not going to find a dusty brother in his senior year or dusty brother in the community. But you see, he got this business idea. She like, nah, come back and see me when it's up and running. I don't think this ever going to happen. Snow Bunny invested in him. You feel me? 10 years later, the same brother see you. You trying to holler. He got the white girl. And it came to you. You said you want a ready-made black man. You don't want a work in progress. And I'm telling black women, y'all better start going for some of these works in progress instead of waiting for us to finish the job because you losing to the Snow Bunny when you tell us to wait until we got the bag.
Now, again, what Umar Johnson just said was that the Snow Bunny is honorable. She operates based on character. She operates based on who the man is, not what the man has accomplished. That is a very honorable trait for a woman. And I'm going to be honest with you. Let's just say what Umar Johnson is saying is true. If what he's saying is true, then that means that white women, culturally and collectively, have more character than black women. If what he's saying is true. Now, I know, based on the numbers, 85% of black men marry black women. I think it's 93% of black women or 96% of black women marry black men, but it's either here nor there. The whole Snow Bunny, white women thing, it's a myth. But what is true is it is true that black men do marry outside of the race more because what women look for aren't the same. What other races of women look for aren't the same as what black women look for. And that's what Umar Johnson is saying. And so other races of women, most of them want a good man. They want a man, and a good man is going to be one that provides, that guides, and assumes responsibility. So that's what most women want. A lot of black women get their dating tips from Amanda Seales and Beyonce. I'm just being honest. A lot of black women get their dating advice from a bunch of washed up women. Cardi B made it like black women get the worst advice because they listen to other black women in a worse boat than they're in. White women usually get their advice from their mothers who are married to their fathers. So again, it's just a difference. But I'm not going to say that white's better than black or black's better than white. I'm saying that what Umar Johnson is saying is that white women ultimately have more character than black women. And if white women have more character than black women, why would you expect a black man to not pick character? You're literally telling a black man to sabotage himself. You're literally saying, forget the woman that has character and is going to bring some peace to your life. Get with the black woman who's not going to judge you based on character, who's going to judge you based on accomplishments. And again, this ain't me saying this. It's Dr. Umar Johnson saying this.
You guys see how he's stuttering right there? You see how he's stuttering? Kind of a little bit, just kind of jittery. That's coffee. I'm just a barista serving coffee here, guys. No need to be mad at me. Be mad at Dr. Umar, who said it.
Who would have knew that Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed would be telling you all how wonderful white women are? One of the two main guys telling you how bad white people are, how racist they are, how they animals, they savages, all this stuff. But every time I talk about white women, it's always in high regard. Every time they talk about white women, it's always in high regard. Might make you scratch your head and wonder. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And quiet is kept, to be honest with y'all. Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson, if they didn't get their money by pandering to the nigglets, they would be giving white women too. If their whole thing wasn't built on revolution, all that stuff, they'd be white women too. And honestly, they could be with them on the slide. We would never know. We would never know. But let's continue. Let's continue. So Tori asks, how has the white women treated you, Blanche? I've been treated well by all women. I don't have any complaints. So it's not just white. I mean, all women treat me. People treat me good, period, though. I guess even in regards to gender, but I don't have any complaints by any women. I've been treated, I believe, fair, and I've been treated justly. I've been treated good. All the women that I've dealt with, they've all cared for me, and I've cared for them. So I've been treated well by white women. All of them, really. I mean, I'm just saying. Most women I dated in my life been black, but when I have, went into the snow, I'm gonna use the snow for white women and the rice for Asian women. When I have gone into the snow, into the rice, I've been treated well. But I can say the same thing if I go into the lace fronts. I can say the same thing. That's funny. Snow, rice, lace fronts. But anyway, but all of them treated me good though. I don't have any complaints. But anyway, so this is UCLA. This is the libtards. This is UCLA's campus. And an anonymous group has funded and constructed a giant screen with loudspeakers outside of UCLA pro-Hamas encampments showing footage of the October 7th massacre on loop. So again, now common sense should tell you, before I play this, how many Jewish people work at UCLA? A lot. How many Jewish people are in Los Angeles? A lot. So what are the chances of this being put up and none of the Jewish people go and unplug it? Just think for a second. What are the chances of this whole setup being a setup on UCLA's campus and none of the Jewish people just walk up and unplug it? Prudence. That's funny. Prudence said, we like Blanche just fine. A noble snow bunny 2024. That's funny. But what are the chances that no Jewish person is going to walk up to this and unplug it? So we can all agree that this is allowed to be played on UCLA's campus, and both sides have to be in on it. If it was a big screen showing Roots, black folks would tear it up. If it was a big screen showing the Rodney King beating, black folks would tear it up. If it was a big screen projecting, was a big flash screen. It was a big flash screen showing all the beating scenes from all the slave movies, black folks would tear it up. So the fact that nobody is tearing this up lets you know that both people are complicit with this. One side wants you to believe that they're fighting a noble cause, and the other side wants you to believe they're actually victims. It's all cap. And I keep telling y'all this, it ain't real. It's the biggest, it might be the greatest psyop since the Peter pandemic. Let's continue. So the giant screen is a pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine. I guess they're showing footage from October the 7th. But my point is, why is nobody walking up to this and unplugging it? There's nobody guarding it. There's nobody. Why is nobody walking up? Like, it don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Listen, JV Chanel, I wouldn't doubt that the pro-Palestine side is not being funded by George Soros. I told you what this is, what you're seeing is so cleverly, it's so diabolical that most people can't see what's really going on. All of this stuff has an end goal to it. All of this stuff has an end goal to it. They're not letting the world believe that Israel is wrong for no reason. There's a method to the madness. They're not chanting pro-Palestine and pro-Hamas for nothing. There's a method to them. There's a reason for this. What do we believe the end goal of this is going to be? Will this all lead to a better America? The answer is no.
Elections coming up.
What's up, Pamela? So now let me ask you all a question. Now listen, this is it's on UCLA's campus. Now keep in mind, there are a lot of Jewish people, not just in Los Angeles, but especially in the education sector. So what are the chances that no Jewish person is going to walk up here and unplug it? Like, it just don't make any sense. But again, both sides benefit from what's going on. The enemy, the Bible said we're supposed to be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. The enemy is clever. And the problem with the world is that the world believes they're stronger than they're smarter than the devil. The world's biggest problem is that the world believes that they are stronger than Satan. Wiser and smarter than Satan. Because everybody says to themselves, not me. It couldn't be me. I wouldn't do it. That's why the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because a lot of people would think they're doing the right thing, and really they're just ushering in the will of Satan. We have to look at what's going on with discerning eyes and ask ourselves, what is going to be the end result of all this? We already see them infringing upon free speech. They're setting the stage. You're not going to be able to go against Israel. You're not going to be able to go against climate change. You're not going to be able to go against snake. Like, just think about, they've already set us up. They've already laid the weeds or laid the foundations for the destruction of free speech. It's already here. Because I keep asking people, who determines what's anti-Semitic and what's not? Who determines what's racism and what isn't? Who determines? What governing body determines what great minds that aren't biased, what impartial, neutral, righteous great minds are going to determine who is using their free speech as a weapon? Who do you all trust to determine whether or not you can have free speech? Who do you all trust to determine whether or not you and I should have free speech? You don't trust anybody. Ali Kedro, she said, Blanche, when did you realize? I realized on October the 7th. I realized because I said, wait a minute, my timeline is flooded with Israel and Palestine and Hamas stuff, but my timeline ain't show nothing about Ukraine and Russia. Only thing I saw from Ukraine and Russia was Zelensky and his wife doing a photo shoot for Vogue magazine. And what folks want people to do is to not have a discerning mind. I pray to God literally for wisdom. I'm like, God, give me wisdom. Give me the eyes to see. Give me the eyes to see what people can't see. Give me the ears to hear what people can't hear. At the end of the day, from day one, this ain't set right with me, just like it was with the Peter pandemic. Just like it was with the Peter pandemic. I said, something ain't right. This ain't making sense. And maybe I can say it's the Holy Spirit gave it to me. I won't take credit for it. The Holy Spirit did it. But my point is, there's no way these folks going to set up a big screen and show pro-Hamas footage. And nobody just come and unplug it. Because we know if it showed some trans people getting beat up, they'd unplug it. If it showed some black folks getting beat up, they'll unplug it. If it showed some women being assaulted, they would unplug it. If it showed some children they'd unplug it. But for some reason, they're allowing the displaying of what happened on October the 7th. I just don't buy it, y'all. I'm sorry. It's cap.
I will push the button before you push the
button. And again, people are standing by, filming this and not doing nothing. So again, we know it's cap. Just think, you all. Just think for 1 second. As soon as we came up out of the Peter pandemic, we've been hit with nonstop stuff. Just use your mind for a second. How convenient is it that when they had you on lockdown under tyranny in the U.S., terrorizing you behind a shot and a 5G-induced bioweapon, soon as we get up out of that, soon as we see, okay, we can finally breathe, they hit you with the Ukraine war, they get you with the abortion, they hit you with all this stuff. And somebody said it, abortion, Roe v. Wade, then Hawaii. It's been nonstop stuff. What are these people trying to do to your mind? Be still and know that I am God. What are these people trying to do with your mind? There's no such thing as coincidence. You've been hit with this stuff back to back to back to back to back. And the layer that's been hovering over top of all of it, the icing on the distraction cake, has been Trump. So even if a person was able to get past all the distractions, the icing is still Trump. It's a setup, people. It's a setup. They've been bombarding us with this stuff for the past 2 years. Do you understand? We've been on a psychological attack. Listen, Instagram, I'm going to come right back because my time is about to expire. I'll be right back. They've had us under psychological attack for the past 2 years. My bad. 4 years. I'm sorry. Why I said 2. For the past 4 years, they've had us on under psychological attack. If you take a step back and just look at all the events that have happened, it's literally been non-stop. We're talking about even chemical spills. We're talking about even chemical spills. We're talking about freezing power grids. We're talking about natural disasters. We're talking about, it's been nonstop global catastrophe, stuff that's affecting the entire planet. They're already getting you all geared up, getting you all primed and ready to be this global citizen for this one world government. They're already getting us ready for it. And even with the bridge collapsing in Baltimore, right, Tierra? They said something malfunctioned. Same thing. It's nonstop stuff going on. It's nonstop. And it's not like it's because stuff has always happened. But what they're doing now is different. They're taking a thing that's happened and they're drilling it into your head and they're spinning all kind of narratives around the one thing. Right, Mystic Philly. People are being spiritually attacked at an unprecedented level. It's unimaginable what these folks have done over these past 4 years. And if you think for 1 second that what these folks put on these airways on social media is not controlled, you're out of your mind. It's all controlled. But listen, I know why people can't see it. Right, Tierra? 5.5 years is 2030. You're going to own nothing and be happy. Diamone says chemtrails, chemical spills, railroad derailments, strategic bridge collapse, spy balloons, right? The spy balloons, threats to switch off the internet, cyber, COVID coming, right? This is what, and again, people, and again, what I'm telling you is that the moment they let you from under the Peter pandemic, they've hit you with nonstop stuff since. They've kept your mind in a whirlwind since. None of this stuff is going to work. Democrat, Republican, and they said it ain't going to work. It's not going to work because most people have too much pride to admit they're wrong. The biggest issue, this is why pride is the foundation of sin. The biggest issue with the world is people cannot admit that they're wrong. Thank you, Pamela. Deliberately crashing the economy, inflation. Like, look at what they're doing. Matter of fact, hold on. Hold on.
Players wants the same rev.
No, I'm sorry. Wrong one. I'm sorry.
What's going on? Electricity, 25% increase. Auto insurance up 33%. Used cars up 35%. Hotels up 15%. Groceries. This matters, up 25%. And this is a big one. You need $11,434 additional just to maintain the same living standard that you had in 2021. Did y'all get a raise?
No.
Between now and then? But that's what's happening. Rent is up 30%. Mortgage rates doubled. It's getting worse, not better. So what do you tell yourself about what you're going to do, how you're going to go about climbing out of this? Because we're headed in the wrong direction.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
And so, again, you heard all of this stuff, right? So basically, you see what's going on. They're going to make it impossible for you to live in America. Now, ask yourselves a question. If all of this is going on in your life in America, why would anybody care about what's going on around the world? Because if you can't put food on your table, what difference is it going to make? If you're homeless, what is it going to matter? If you can't afford to live, you can't afford a car, you can't afford a home, you can't afford food. If your basic necessities cannot be met, why do they want you worried about somebody over there having a conflict or a war? It doesn't make any sense. You got to be able to survive here. All of this stuff is going on at the same time. And they got disease X lingering in the background. Now they got mRNA for the flu shots. Now they got mRNA for cancer. All this stuff is in the background lingering. And I always ask people, how did Israel treat its citizens when it came to that shot? How did Israel treat its citizens when it came to them saying we don't want the shot. So again, when I'm talking about this stuff, understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from where this stuff is going. All this stuff right now is a formality. It's just a formality. I know where this is headed. We are headed to a one world government. You have a World Health Organization. You have a United Nations. You have a World Bank. It's already in place. And everything you see going on is leading to that. People fighting for, think about this, man. Once your freedom of speech goes, the guns are next. Once you can't say what you want to say, the guns are next. Because what they're going to do is, and the enemy is clever, the enemy is going to get you to become a criminal based on what you say. Now, you won't be allowed to have guns if I make you a felon. So if I determine that what you're saying, your free speech, is being used as a weapon, then I can make you a felon, and now you can't own a firearm. You see how easy it is? You see how clever the enemy is? You see how easy that was to do? Once they get rid of free speech, it's over. These folks want to ban TikTok, but TikTok suppressed my content. So make it make sense. They want to ban TikTok for being this, but TikTok is anti-Blanche's content. So in essence, TikTok is working for these people. So why would they want to ban something that literally works for them? Doesn't make any sense. You see, they're banning TikTok to get you all comfortable with them determining who should be allowed to be a platform and who shouldn't. They gave you the first test by putting Trump off of Twitter. It's all a setup. But they got you distracted by all of this stuff to make you believe that what you're seeing isn't orchestrated. And the Bible is very clear that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, the rulers of darkness, wickedness in high places. So what you think you see, you don't see. What you think is real, it ain't real. Because the powers that be don't operate like that. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. That means that the conflict or war between Hamas, Palestine, and Israel is one of the devil. Because the Bible says that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. So that means there are some hands behind what we're seeing. When it comes to Russia and Ukraine, there are hands behind what we're seeing. When it comes to racism in America, division, there's something behind it. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. That means if you see two people fighting, behind that fight is wickedness in high places, spiritual darkness. So again, you have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. That means you have to know how the enemy thinks, but you got to be righteous. You got to be able to see the plots, but you got to be righteous. You got to be like Neo in the Matrix. You got to be able to dodge bullets and also be the good guy. The most pivotal part of the movie was a few of them. And I'm talking about the first Matrix movie. It should never been a part 2 or 3. But anyway, in the first film, but they got greedy, they want some money. Just for the last one, the fourth Matrix to be about Neo becoming a woman. Anyway, trans agenda. But anyway, a pivotal part of the movie is when the agents have captured Morpheus, and they're trying to get the map to Zion, and they're waiting to pull the plug on Morpheus, and Neo realizes that Morpheus is only there captured because of me, because he believes that I'm this chosen person is why he's there. So I can't let him die for the faith that he has in me. I can't let Morpheus die for the faith that he has in me. So I'm going to risk my life to save Morpheus because he believes I'm the one. So what Neo did was Neo honored Morpheus's faith, much like Christ honors our faith. It's the same thing. Just for Neo to risk his life and become the one, because he had to die to himself. And how did Neo die to himself? He didn't die to himself because he realized he was in a computer program. He didn't die to himself because he can know how to manipulate the rules of the system. That's not how he died. He died to self because he didn't make it about himself. He said, I'm going to choose to put another human being in front of myself. I'm going to risk my life and lay down my life for another person. That's what made him become the one. And so the enemy is clever, but this is why we have to pray to God for discernment and pray to God for wisdom and understanding, because what we think we see, we don't see. My eyes have been conditioned and programmed to see all kind of stuff. It takes us a lifetime to get our eyes to where we don't use them anymore. It takes us a lifetime to just walk by faith. But let's continue. That might be it for my intro. That might be it for my intro.
On April the 4th, 2024, our 93-year-old victim who has severe dementia was assaulted by a caregiver, a 26-year-old female from Flint Township. And what the caregiver didn't know is in direct eyesight of that nanny cam, there's no sound. You're going to see that the victim had an accident. You're going to see the roughness of the caregiver to the victim. That is a soiled diaper. Takes the right hand around the neck in an attempt to choke. A few minutes later, you're going to see the caregiver square off on this victim. But when you have somebody who has reached a tipping point and takes it out on somebody that is so frail and so vulnerable, this stage of dementia, you cannot carry on a conversation with our victim. This is severe dementia. She has no idea what's going on. She can't process what we process on a regular basis. Many times these cases, they turn out to be what you just saw and worse.
So this woman is, okay, and I put this up because this is a black caretaker taking care of a white woman, and she's beating a white woman and putting her soiled stuff because the white woman used the bathroom, so she's, torture. And I call it torture. But the issue I have, I won't play it again, you all, but my point is that just reverse the roles. If you just make this a white woman and that a black woman, it now becomes race. And I'm bringing this up because if the skin tone of the people changes, then it changes the magnitude of the offense. So in this case, they'll just say she's a bad person. But if she's white, now she's what? She's a devil. She's a demon. She's savage. You want to kill. You want to genocide. You see what I'm saying? The level of wrong elevates based on the person being white. And so what happens is, if the white person is having the most extreme, if the white person's sins are worse than everybody else's, then everybody else is not sinning. If white people have all the power and the control and the privilege and all this stuff, supremacy and all this stuff, that means that what they're doing is what we judge. You don't judge what's up under them. Because think about it. People are just reacting to white supremacy. And this is a spirit that you got to get rid of. You got to get rid of the spirit of thinking that all white folks are racist. That is a spirit of Satan. The Bible says that Satan is the accuser of his brethren. So you are saying that all white people are anything, you are doing the will of Satan. So again, we know if the races are changed in this scenario, it's viral. When I watch videos where white people will do something, usually in response to black people, the comments on there are crazy. We need to start a revolution. We need to wipe them out. We need to do this. I mean, the comments are so all over the place till it's insane. It's insane. It is insane.
Something happens to me, it's because I'm showing you guys this book right here, all right? Make sure you get your screen record, your screenshot ready, because I'm about to show you what's in this book. This book is called The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. Big Pharma is mad. I'm about to show you guys. Let's just start here.
What I find funny is, this is what I find funny. Now, what's funny is that black people want you to believe, and I'm saying black people want you to believe that they are giving you information that puts their life at risk. Have y'all ever met a black person willing to die to give you all some information? Have you ever met a black person that was willing to die to give you some information? Honestly. How many black folks have y'all met that are saying, I'm willing to risk my life to make sure I can give my brothers and sisters the education they need? Never. Never in my life have I met such a black person that's willing to risk their lives for little old me. Never. Now look at Boogie. Boogie said Rashad Jamal. Now you may be new here, Boogie, but I've done a live on Rashad Jamal before, and Rashad Jamal is in prison because he was putting his hands on children in a deplorable manner. Rashad Jamal is in prison because he was touching little children inappropriately. So he didn't risk his life for you. What he did was he risked his freedom because he gave way to that demon of child pedophilia. And look at them, allegedly. Let me tell you something. When you go to prison and it's for you're dealing with children, trust me, they got evidence. They got evidence. Being a chomo, as they say in prison, is a very serious deal. And where there's smoke, there's fire. So he got accused of this, not just one accusation, not just one child, for the record. So again, anyway, most of your black leaders are very sexually deviant. So Rashad Jamal was not innocent at all. And I know he's not innocent because I've heard him say on lives that he wanted to kill young Pharaoh's children. So, you know, if you go listen to him when he would quirk out, because you know he was bipolar, schizophrenic, double-minded. You know, 1 minute he's righteous, next minute he wanted war. Y'all follow these folks, I don't. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. So when I see a man being crazy on one end and wise on it, I don't buy it. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I saw Rashad Jamal in the grocery store talking about white folks wearing a mask. We can't trust him. I saw him in the grocery store calling white folks racist and black folks sellouts wearing a mask. We can't trust him. We can't trust him.
I highlighted some of the things that's most popular that I know people need. I know they told you can't get you one of these books. It has something for everything. I tagged it on the screen. Just click the orange card. Ladies, this is for you too. Make sure you get a book. Make sure you get a book before they delete this off the TikTok shop, all right?
Do you hear what I'm... If what black people were doing was truly revolutionary, they wouldn't do it. If what black people were doing was truly revolutionary, they wouldn't do it. If what black folks said really put them at risk of death, they wouldn't say it. Did you see any protests behind the mandates from black people? Did you see any protests behind the shots? The answer is no. You didn't see any protests behind the very thing that took away black folks' freedom. You didn't see a mandate protest. You didn't see a shot protest. Matter of fact, when I went to an event, I saw black folks trying to stop the event. And the event was about freedom. So again, it's cap. It's cap. It's cap. But speaking of hair for black women.
Can I ask? You know how we get that hair? When nothing goes right in the life, put on Indian human hair. Can I ask? You know how we get that hair? When nothing goes right in the life of a Hindu person, they go through a ceremony called Tansho, where the priest in the temple incantates all the bad luck they are facing onto the hair, because for them to cut hair is such a taboo. But so that it indicates a new phase of metamorphosis, they shave their hair clean. They used to burn that hair because they understood they're burning all the bad luck, until they realized the stupid African woman wants to put it on their head. So you buy your own bad luck and you put it on your head. So I think I'll leave it there.
Now, I don't know how true this is, but I've said in the past that you all don't know what they're doing to this hair. And I don't, and the videos I see on India is a little too unsanitary for me to even get something from there. I'm sorry, because you can't verify where this hair came from. I'm just saying, where they casting spells over it. I watched them videos in India of those people in India eating that food, and I am utterly disgusted. They eating food off the ground. They eating off their feet. I saw one dude he had a razor blade between his toes. He was cutting meat. They put their hands and everything. They spit in the food and stir it up. So India a little too now. I'm sorry. You know, my Indian brothers and sisters, I love y'all. I really do, but I just can't do it. It's just too unsanitary. And I know based on what I'm seeing, it's an odor, because I know a lot of y'all don't believe in deodorant. You put them salt crystals up under there and just get to cooking. But I still love y'all, but I can't do it. But that's me. Other folks may love it. I can't do it. The way them street vendors, they need to be in jail. I can't do it. But I don't know if this is true about the bad luck with the hair, but I am going to say, you don't know what these folks are doing with this hair. You just don't know. You don't know. All them folks over there and them other countries, they believe in all kind of crazy stuff. So you best believe that hair ain't going from just the head to the package to the it's some kind of spell being cast. Something is being done. Something is being done. I wouldn't do it though. I would not take nothing from them. I wouldn't do it. They just too nasty over there. I'm sorry. I can't help it. You call it culture, which I want to call it. I can't do it. They make the Africans eating the monkey look clean. I can't do it. In some videos they eating food off the literal ground. I'm like, why can't what culture? Come on, man. You can't put on a plate a piece of wood. What culture got you eating off the ground? Anyway, I'm sorry. My bad. If I don't want to offend any of my Indian brothers and sisters. None of my potatoes. I love y'all. Don't get too mad at me, please. Please. What is this?
They think I'm being.
Because I am a Black woman living in Iceland, I have been tagged in some videos where people have commented asking me what it's like to live as a Black person here. So I'm gonna finally address that and give at least my perspective and then a little bit about, other people that I know of. And so hopefully this is helpful. Please just know that this is my experience, and of course it will vary for different people. I don't want to give the impression that my experience.
Hold on, let me ask y'all a question now. I'm gonna be real with y'all real quick. How you gonna be pro-Black and move to Iceland? Iceland has to be the whitest place in the world, literally. How are you going to be pro-Black, and what would possess you to move to Iceland and you're pro-Black? Not only are you not around Black people, you aren't around the sun either. Can somebody help me out? Can somebody please help me out? Why would you want to move to Iceland and you're pro-Black? I don't get it. Let's continue though.
Of course, it will vary for different people. I don't want to give the impression that my experience in Iceland is representative of everybody, because it's definitely not. So overall, honestly, my experience has been amazing. I'm just going to be very honest. I moved here in 2016. First, I married an Icelander. I ended up getting a job, moved here into.
Oh, okay. That's why. Now, she's pro-Black, and Mystic Philly said Iceland is beautiful. Listen, I believe it's beautiful. Listen, I don't have any problems with Iceland. I'm just saying, I just find it ironic. These folks are pro-Black, but you marry, and notice she said an Icelander. You might as well say one of the soldiers from the Ice King, the Night King from the Night King in the Game of Thrones. Iceland, they got to have the purest white people in Iceland. Literally, there's a pure. It don't get no more pure than that. If you're born in Iceland, I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, she's pro-Black though, but she married an Icelander. I'm just saying. Kofi says she married Snow Jack Rabbit. Oh yeah, you had to go for your job. I mean, that's cool with me though. Listen, I would love to go to Iceland. I'm not gonna live there no 6 years, but I would love to go to see it. But I'm just saying, I ain't finna be pro-Black in Iceland either though. That's all I'm saying. Where you gonna protest? Where you gonna protest? Where you gonna protest in Iceland? Where you gonna protest? Okay, let's continue.
2016, working in marketing in the tourism industry, then moved on to like a company that is an advertising agency, and now I work for myself. And so I've had many different experiences. I've also traveled to every part of the country. I've traveled solo around the country. I have traveled with people. And honestly, I have felt like I've been welcomed pretty much everywhere that I've gone. I will also say that as I've been continuing.
Now, keep in mind, she's been there 6 years. She's traveled all over the country, by herself with friends, I imagine with her husband. She's married to an Icelander, and she says that she hasn't had any bad experiences. So if anybody was a good, and she got locks in her hair, and she's brown skinned, and she's pro-black. So if anybody would receive some racism in Iceland, it would be her. So the fact that she said that she hasn't experienced anything like that is very telling, but let's continue.
Continuously learning Icelandic. One of the things that's helped me, and maybe because people just know I'm a foreigner, is that when I speak to Icelanders in Icelandic at the different places that I've been, especially in the countryside, it really seems to open people up, and I've enjoyed that a lot. Now, there is one thing that I have to address, and that is the topic of racism and this idea that racism in Iceland doesn't exist, that discrimination in Iceland doesn't exist. Have I directly encountered someone being racist to me? No. However,
now, this is where most Black people fail. Right here. When you hear a Black person say, however, what will proceed after that is going to be decadence. It's going to be a lie. This person right here has literally been through every experience in Iceland almost. And she has said, I have not experienced any racism. The only thing she probably hasn't done in Iceland is fight a polar bear for some scraps. I don't know. But I'm saying she had not experienced anything bad in Iceland. So her mind, she shouldn't even be able to fathom someone else experiencing something racist. Like she should be skeptical of it based on her experiences.
have other people? Yes. Actually, on my podcast, All Things Iceland, I've talked about this with a person who's actually been studying racism, the concept of whiteness and Nordic exceptionalism in Iceland, called Kristín Loftsdóttir. And
now imagine Black people going to Iceland where them people don't bother nobody. When was the last time you heard somebody from Iceland, even in America, talking to y'all? The Iceland people, we can agree, don't bother anybody. You got these Black folks, these bliggity Blacks, these nigglets, going to Iceland, accusing these people of being racist. These folks is minding their own business. And some Black people get on a plane, get a passport, get on a plane, and go to Iceland and have the audacity to accuse these people of being racist. And this woman right here, who ain't never experienced it, ain't got enough decency and character to just say, it ain't true, y'all lying. I guarantee if I go to Iceland, I'll be received very well with no problem. And I'm going to keep my mustache so I can have a little frost, you know, on my mustache. But I guarantee if I go to Iceland, I'll be received very well. Even if I'm not going to indict the whole country, though. Let's continue.
it's been fascinating to not only have a conversation with her, but to follow people on Instagram a group of women who have an account about anti-racism here, who haven't.
These people, listen, you can't take Black people nowhere. I'm going to get all things. Her podcast is called All Things Iceland, I think. And All Things Iceland, I think is the name of it. And their Instagram page is, and the fact that she's even tagging them is ridiculous. And her husband has to be a liberal. Her husband has to be. Now, the name of the page it's on Instagram. It's called Antira Sister Nerd. It's just some food. It's just some Niglet dialect. I don't know. I'm not familiar with. Sister. Damn foolishness, man. Goodness. Anyway, Iceland is actually very green, and Greenland is very icy. Right. That is true. That is true. But to go to Iceland and to accuse these folks of being racist is just insane. And these folks aren't bothering anybody. I heard Greenland is beautiful too. I heard Iceland is beautiful and Greenland is beautiful.
Countered and also showcase stories of individuals who have encountered racism, whether they're, people who identify as Black or they're mixed or whatever, their identity is when it comes to racism. And it's been really powerful to see and hear and also know about, news stories of things like this that have happened in order to bring awareness. I think
Black people lie. Have y'all noticed that anytime Black people have to tell you something, it's never based in factual information. It's always them telling some kind of story. It's never this critical race theory, though, based storytelling, but it's never based in any factual information.
It's important to remember that Icelanders are people, and so they have different ideas that can vary from each other. There's also unconscious bias. There are, of course, people who are hateful, and you can live here like myself, not having directly encountered it, and yet racism does exist. I will say, though, as a tourist, more than likely, you won't encounter this because it's after, at least in my experience living here for a while, that I learned more about what other people were going through.
Her husband is a liberal. I can see she's pathetic. Thank you, Alex Scott, for the super stickers. I really appreciate the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Dead or alive, there's so much nonsense in the world now. God, I'm ready for you. Amen. Kofi 19. Let's predict what's next. It'll be summer soon. Will the Olympics be the global stage of 2024's most chaotic event? More than likely, yes. More than likely, yes. It's going to be some kind of event there. It's going to sparkle. Yes, Kofi, it will be. Listen, I love y'all. But yeah, just disgusting. Black ain't beautiful, but love is. I'll be doing a part 2 on either Thursday or Friday, but we have to love each other. And it's going to be hard loving each other if we are always focused on not even race. People aren't focused on race. People are focused on false narratives. They're focused on programming. They're not focused on race because most of these folks have contradictions when it comes to race. That ain't the issue is focusing on a false narrative. Like the old girl did. She's been there 6 years and had the best life ever. Some Black girls tell her that it's racist and she's run with it. It's foolishness. But she's only doing it because she feels insecure because her husband is white. So what people do is they go outside their race, but then try to compensate for the Blackness. It's foolish. I want to thank Angel Wings so much for moderating. I want to thank Goddess Navi so much for moderating. I want to thank you all for keeping the chat lit, Prudence and everybody, Mystic Philly. I want to thank everybody on Instagram as well. I love you all, and I will see you all soon. Thank you all so much. I got one more super sticker that came in. Keep that fire to these delusional narcissist peoples. ASS's $ Blanche. You're doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much. Sub-Zero, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And again, the goal behind what I do is to get you to see that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. That's what we're separated by. It's not skin color. It's that we're sinners. We've sinned, we've fallen short. Or should I say separated? Or should I say connected by? That's what connects us. It's not a division between race and all that stuff. It's the fact that we've all fallen short. Nobody's better or worse than anybody else. We all have to go to the throne humbly. Like we all got to accept Christ. Everybody's in the same boat. So that means that white folks don't have a monopoly on being savage and all this stuff. And black folks don't have a monopoly on being righteous in God. None of that stuff. It's all cap. People are people. And character, this is the beauty of God. The beauty of God is God didn't give you character. Character was something you had to earn. You had to build yourself. God gave you a measure of faith to take this journey we call life. But your character, you have to build it. And so if a person doesn't have character, it has nothing to do with their skin color, but everything to do with them. But anyway, I love you all, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much.